Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is doing great out there. So lots of different projects going on. Summer's coming to an end, starting to think about a lot of stuff for winter and the fall. And thought I'd do a little product review on something that, at least in my situation, has proved to be pretty useful. And for years now, I've used these Honeywell air purifiers in the house, and they've worked great. And it was getting to the point where it was time to get a new one, and I noticed this this new model out, the Insight series, and thought we would go ahead and take a look at it and you know, give it a try, and over a period of months give it a good review and kind of see what I think at the end of the day. All right, so in this review here, what we're going to do is we're going to go through all the features and then get it unboxed, get it all together, get it into service, and then you know, wait a couple months and see where we end up with it and how well it does. And then we'll have like a final you know, complete wrap up with it at some point a couple months down the road. So for me, one of the big reasons for having this is that for in my particular case, I have radiant in the floor heating. So in the winter, there's a common problem in houses that don't have like, you know, some sort of furnace that circulates the air and stuff, where the air can kind of get a bit stagnant, and then, you know, everything in the air, you know, dander, you know, just dust from whatever, different things, you know, that stuff can kind of build up a bit more compared to a house that's going to circulate the air around through the system and also through a filter. So these come in handy a lot in the winter. And then the other thing I've noticed, because I'm pretty much where I live in the mountains, I keep the windows open pretty much from, you know, April well into October, maybe even November sometimes during the day. And so for a good part of the year, the windows are open. Maybe the air conditioning might be used roughly like 10 to 14 days a year maybe. So there again, a lot of times you do get the downside to having the windows open is sometimes you do get a lot of stuff from the outside. So it seems like for me, as I've gotten older, the pine pollen especially in the spring bothers me a bit more. So that's another benefit to having these. Try to circulate, of course the windows are open, but try to circulate and filter the air that's already in the house. So one thing with this compared to some of the older models that I have running, which are probably maybe 15 years old, you know, they go back a bit a ways. You know, of course, technology has, you know, moved forward in all those years. And so one of the things that they do have on the display is it kind of lets you know, you know, how bad the air quality is based on, you know, whatever their computer is kind of barfing up and telling you. And so that's cool. And then also too, there are multiple filters, and you can also tailor the filters too, depending on like what your situation is. So I guess they have separate odor filters depending on if you got a lot of pets, if you have, you know, smoke, you have a lot of kitchen smells, you have a lot of dust from renovating the house, or, you know, different stuff like that. So you can kind of tailor and get different filters for that. So at the end of the day here, you've got basically a pre-filter, the optional odor filters, and then you have the HEPA filter. So compared to the previous canister filters that I had, it looks like you have kind of a more advanced setup here. So it'll be interesting to see how all that works and how that all pans out. But they also have the specs here in terms of the particulate matter that it'll actually pick up, and pretty much it looks like just about anything it'll essentially filter out. And then also too, it makes the claim as well that it circulates the air within a 500 square foot room if it runs 24 hours a day, 115 times. So, you know, as I said, that's the one big benefit with this. Like if you have radiant in the floor heating, or you're not running your air conditioning all the time, you know, this can go ahead and help clean a lot of that air within the house. And so that's what I'm kind of looking for with it. All right, so we got it all out of the packaging. Pretty easy to do. A couple of pieces of protective tape and all that. And then to go ahead and get it started based off the instructions, you just have to pull this front cover back. So it's got tabs on the bottom and then 2 tabs on the top in order to set it. And then you have the pre-filter right here that slides in. And then you also have the 3 HEPA filters in here as well. So basically what you've got to do is remove these from the plastic packaging. So they say they keep them sealed up, keeps them a bit fresher until you know, you're actually ready to use it and get it going. So you just have to take these filters out, remove them from the plastic, put them back in, make sure that you leave the red tab sticking out to facilitate removal whenever they get dirty enough, and you know, should be good to go. All right, so pretty easy. Once you remove the plastic, you just put those HEPA filters in with the red tabs extending out. Very easy. And then the pre-filter, just remove it from the plastic, and you can see there's these tabs, and it just fits right into those tabs. Really easy, really simple. And then the front grille here, there are tabs down at the bottom, so you just slot it into place. Let's see if we can get the camera. There's some tabs right down there. Just slot it into place, push it forward, and easy day. Not hard at all. And the other thing you can do is take a look at the instruction manual. So it's got some information on the different filters. If you want to buy the enhanced filters, you can get those optionally. Smoke, kitchen, home renovation, pet. So there's 4 different ones you can pick from. And then basically all the buttons and all that sort of thing. Yeah, so pretty simple, really. And there's also a little section here on what all the different buttons will do. And you can use the turbo mode on this model here. So if you really need to blast that air through, and it'll put it at its highest cleaning level. And then also, as I mentioned before, the air quality there too. A couple mentions with that. You can dim the control panel. You can have a timer if you want. Usually what I do is I just turn them on and off when I want. And so sometimes they'll run for quite a while, almost all, you know, for 24 hours. And then maybe, you know, if I'm not home or something, I'll just turn them off. But, you know, so you can do it whichever way you want. And also too, it has a filter light whenever, so it'll let you know whenever a filter is crapped out. So, you know, it says basically, sounds like for a lot of, let's see, the pre-filter, one to replace every 3 months. And it sounds like the HEPA filters, they might last 12 months. So we'll see how that goes. Different questions, so stuff like that, filter replacement. And then also too, you'll have to reset the filter check indicator light and all that. And a couple other little tips. But yeah, super easy. So shouldn't really be any problems for just about anybody out there. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this plugged in. So hey folks, here we are a couple months later, now into winter. We've used the air filter now for a couple months, and we'll just kind of do a quick wrap up in terms of how it all panned out. And first of all, this is the first pre-filter that came out of it. Wow, pretty impressive. And then of course on the back side of it, you know, pretty much all nice and clean. So yes, talk about pulling some crap out of the air. Pretty impressive on that. And actually right now, the air filter here is, it's running. I don't know if you can hear it. There is a propane heater on in the other room behind me. So it's possible to perhaps pick that up, but we'll put the microphone kind of up to it. And I don't know if the microphone picks up or not, but it's very quiet. And that is one thing, is that I've used older Honeywell filters before, the circular ones, and they're pretty damn loud. And that is the one thing with this, is that it's all very nice and quiet. I'll actually turn it up here to the higher setting. And that is full blast right there. So usually I don't run it that high. But, you know, it's like you can, it's almost like kind of a quiet air conditioning unit. If you did run it kind of full blast there, but it's not annoying at all, or something that would get in the way of your conversation depending on where it's at in the room. Usually I run it just on the first or second setting. And that's the second setting right there. Seems to work pretty well. Let's actually turn it off and have a look inside here. And that's one nice thing too, is everything is easy to change. So this is only a month and a half basically on this. And then let's look at the HEPA filter in there. And the HEPA filters, let's see if we can zoom in a little bit here. Starting to get some stuff on the HEPA filters there. I think those are supposed to go for about 12 months. So not totally clogged up yet, but there is some stuff you could see down on the filters down below. So, you know, probably at some point we'll just keep monitoring those every time I change the pre-filter, and, you know, whenever they get too clogged up. There's also a light that will come on too, but you know, you can just go by the visual, I guess, also too, whenever you're ready to change them. But so far, everything seems to be doing pretty good. And yeah, like I said, that is the one issue with, you know, whenever you're living in a house with radiant heat, you don't get a lot of air moving around in the winter, unless you want to turn the air conditioning fan on. And then you got to take the cover off the air conditioning unit and all that sort of stuff, which sometimes is not really practical in the winter. So these are good because they keep the air moving throughout the house. They filter out all the crap out of the air. And overall, I've just kind of noticed an improvement in the air quality in the house, less dust and all that sort of stuff. So very happy with it. So far, no issues. I like the fact that you can change the filters like super easy, and it's not noisy and obnoxious at all. So to me, it's kind of a win-win. So at the end of the day, definitely highly recommend it, especially if you do have that house with radiant heating or you have allergies. I'm sure this is going to do really well during pine pollen season that we have in early June around here. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with it. If you're interested in purchasing it, check out the Amazon link below. And if you click on that link, it just kicks back a little commission to the channel, and the more support we get, the more videos we keep cranking out. So hope you all enjoyed that video, and we'll see you all next time.